Hi there, welcome to Adminit, the all-in-one software tool for managing your business operations. In this video, we will take a closer look at how Adminit can transform the way you run your business. With its intuitive interface and powerful features, Adminit streamlines your workflow and keeps your team on track. Let's get started. Now, the first thing you'll see after you log in is the main dashboard. Here, you will be able to view your total sales, the total SKUs for your products, your existing customers, and the item kits. You'll also be able to visualize sales charts for different time periods, generate closeout reports, detailed sales reports, and summary item reports. You'll also be able to start a new entry for when you need to restock your products and start a new sale directly from the dashboard. You'll also be able to see your top selling products. Down at the bottom, you will be able to visualize several charts detailing different payment methods, sales by employee, sales by customer, and sales by location. And finally, you will be able to see a line chart detailing all of your total sales, which you can filter by month or by week. Let's move on to the next section. In the Entities portion of the side menu, you will be able to manage your customers and your suppliers. Let's take a closer look at the Customer section. Here in the Customer section, you will be able to manage existing customers as well as add new customers. You can also import or export a list of your customers to Excel. Additionally, you have the option to choose what information to show in your customers table. So this is a great tool for keeping track and managing all of your customers. Next, let's take a look at the Supplier section. Similar to the Customer section, here you will be able to manage existing providers as well as add new providers. Let's move on to the Inventory section. Inside the Inventory portion of the side menu, there are many great features to manage your inventory. Let's go over each one of them. First, there's an Item section. Here, you will be able to manage all of your products. You can edit any information from a specific product, such as the name of the product, the price, the product ID, and any other details. You will have the option to add a new item one by one, or if you already have an Excel sheet with all of your product information, you can import them and avoid having to enter them one by one. There's a menu inside the Item section which allows you to do many things, such as manage attributes, manage categories, manage tags, manage manufacturers, have an inventory count, import and export to Excel, clean up old items, manage deleted items, and search for conflicts. Let's move on to the next section. The Entry section. Here, you can add to your inventory if you need to restock a product. All you would have to do is search for the product that you want to restock. Let's use a Apple MacBook as an example. As you can see, we have 4 Apple MacBook Pros in stock. I would then add the supplier. In this case, I have Apple registered as my supplier. I would then specify the quantity I would like to restock. Let's say 5. I would hit OK. And remember, we only have 4 in stock. I would then choose the payment method and select Finish. I would verify this with an OK, and it would automatically generate an entries receipt. Now, to make sure it was added to my items, I would go to my items, search for the Apple MacBook Pro, and as you can see, the quantity has been updated to 9. So this is how you would restock your products in the Entry section. Let's move on to the next section. The Item Kits section. Now in this section, you will be able to create kits or bundles for your products. All you would have to do is add a new item kit. You would fill out the information. Let's go ahead and fill out the product ID. Give the item kit a name. Let's go ahead and go with the basketball kit. Select the category which it will fall under. In our case, it'll be sports and outdoors. Select the manufacturer in case you want to. Let's go ahead and add the basketball tag here. And then a brief description. Okay, once we have this, we would go into the items added, where you would be able to add the actual items that will go inside the kit. We know we want to add the basketball shoes we have and also the basketball we have. You can add as many items as you want to your kit, and you can optionally add an extra item. Once we have this, all we have to do is go to the pricing section. It'll automatically tell us how much the cost for those two items will be. All we would have to do here is select a margin of profit. Let's say I want to make 20% off of this sale. So I would calculate the price according to the margin, and this will be the final price that we will offer this bundle at. You could optionally add an image for the bundle, and you could select which locations you'd like to offer this bundle at. In my case, I only have one location, so there's no locations coming up. So once we have all of this, we submit it. And as you can see, it automatically added our bundle. So we can select the bundle and then generate our barcode labels or create the barcode sheet. So this is all regarding the item kits, where you would be able to bundle up different items for a special sale. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section. The purchase order section. As you could probably guess by the name, here we will be able to create purchase orders for our suppliers. Similar to the entry section, all we would have to do is scan the barcode for the products we need or search for them directly on here. Let's say, for example, I need to create a purchase order for two items, the iPhone and some Apple AirPods. And let's say I need 3 AirPods and just 1 iPhone. All I would have to do now is select my provider. And then you can optionally send the purchase order directly to the provider's email. Select your payment method and then suspend and complete the purchase order. We select OK, and this will automatically generate the purchase order for us. Now you can optionally print this order, or if you remember, we have already sent this directly to our provider's email. In the next section, suspended entries, we will be able to see our purchase order. We can optionally send the email again with the purchase order to the provider, and we can unsuspend the purchase order once the provider brings the products. So let's go ahead and do that. We will unsuspend. As you can see, it generates the order directly into the entries. Then all you have to do is click on finish, press OK, and now this generates the entries receipt. And as you remember from last time, when we created an entry, the inventory will automatically update to show those products that we have entered. So as you can see, we now have 20 AirPods and 14 iPhones. So this is how the purchase order and the suspended entries work. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section. The calculate purchase section. Now here we will also be able to generate purchase orders, but instead of having to add each item one by one to the purchase order, we will be able to generate a list of items depending on certain criteria. For example, let's say we select the Sony supplier. Then we want to select all items that are below reorder level. As you can see, there are many options, such as items that have sold in the past week, past month, or all of the items for the supplier. We'll submit. And then as you can see, it'll take us back to the purchase order section where it will automatically add all the items that are under the reorder level for this specific supplier. All we would have to do now is suspend and complete the purchase order like we did before. It will generate the purchase order, and then we would go to suspended entries. We would unsuspend whenever we're ready to. This will take us back to the entry section, and then once we finish, this will automatically update the inventory with the items we selected. And this is how we would calculate purchases depending on specific criteria. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section. The batch entry section. Now here, if you do not want to add the items or the entries one by one, you will be able to fill out an Excel template, which you can download here. Once you download, you will be able to fill out all the information. And then once you fill out the information, you would be able to select that file and then select submit, and the inventory will automatically update. The next section is the inventory count section. Now in this section, you will be able to perform counts for your products. Let's say, for example, I want to have a new inventory count. Let's say I'm in the smartphone section of my store and I want to see how many iPhones I have. So here you see that we have 2 in inventory. But let's say that at the store we actually counted 3. What we can do is select 3 here for the edit count. And then you have 2 options. You could either finish the count and update your inventory, or finish the count and not update the inventory. And then you could optionally continue the count later for if you're interrupted by a client or you want to go to lunch or anything, you could leave the count for a later time. So for this example, let's go ahead and close the count and update the inventory. Here we select OK. And if we go back to the inventory in the item section, we'll see that the iPhone has now been updated to a quantity of 3. So this is how you would perform your inventory count. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section. The final 3 sections inside the inventories portion of the side menu will help you manage attributes, categories, and tags. These 3 things will help you organize your inventory in a much better way. Let me show you how. Under the Manage Attributes section, you will be able to add attributes to your products. Attributes are used to describe an item or product and distinguish it from other similar products. Let's say, for example, you sell t-shirts that come in different fabrics. So what I would do is add the name of the variant or attribute, and then I would say cotton and polyester. And now we have an attribute called fabric with 2 variations. I would simply submit. This will take me directly to my items under inventory. All I have to do now is search for the item I would like to add the attributes to. In this case, I'm looking for the t-shirt, which is here. I would go to edit. Under variation, I would search for that attribute, which is the fabric, and I would add it. Now once I've added this, I can additionally select all attributes And what this will do is create an item for each of the variations. If you notice here, I have two variations, one with cotton and one with polyester. Once this is complete, I can now distinguish the t-shirts by cotton or polyester. And as you can remember from the attributes, we can add colors, the memory size, screen size, types of processors. You can do anything to distinguish one product from the other. Under the category section, this will allow you to add different categories that will help you group your items together into specific categories, which will help you organize your inventory. In this case, I have a clothing category, delivery fee, electronics, and sports and outdoors. Now this is useful for whenever you're looking into your items. You could go to show grid, and here you see the categories. Also, you will see tags, which is our next section. Here under tags, you will be able to manage all of your tags. As you can see, here I have basketball, console, headphones, laptops, etc. So with these three tools, you will be able to look for products and organize your products in a much better way. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section. The sales portion of the side menu. Now when you open this, you'll notice that there are several sections regarding sales. Let's go through each one of them. The first one, and the one you will probably use the most, is the point of sale. Now here, you or your employees can log into a register. In my case, I have 4 registers. I have named each one Terminal 1 through 4. Let's say I'm an employee working out of Terminal 2. I would select the terminal. Right away, it's going to ask for the opening amount. You could either specify the bill type and the number of bills, or you could just write the amount directly. Once I hit submit, this will take me to the sales interface. Now to start a sale, you would simply start scanning the barcodes for the items, or enter the item name, or you would search for the item by category or by tags. Now let's say I have a customer wanting to buy an iPhone. So if I had a scan machine, I would scan it. In this case, I will search for it directly. I will select it. As you can see, it automatically tells me the total price. And if there's a discount, I can add it here. Let's say this item has a 10% discount. As you can see, it's already been added. I could optionally set a discount for an entire sale. I could select the customer. I could have a delivery option. I can email the receipt. I could suspend the sale. I can cancel the sale. Let's go ahead and go through the sale. We'll just add the payment method and then specify the amount that we will receive. Once we add the payment, we'll complete the sale. We'll hit OK. And right away, it'll generate a receipt for our customer. And that's it. That's as easy as that to complete a sale. Now, I would like to go back and point out a few other things we can do in the sales interface. Here, there's a little menu where you could sell gift cards, recharge gift cards, see your suspended sales, see the delivery orders, see your batch sale, see the items that were denied. You could look up a receipt. You could check inventory, show last sale receipt. You could change your registers, You could even have a customer-facing display. You could pop open cash drawer, add cash, or remove cash to the register. And the final option would be, once the shift is over, the employee can close the register. So this is the sale interface. As you can see, there are many features in it. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section. The deliveries and deliveries schedule section. Now, if your company offers deliveries, these two features will definitely be useful for you. If you recall from the previous section, I mentioned that during a sale, you have the option to add a customer to the sale. Let's say, for example, that we have a customer named John Doe. Once you add the customer to the sale, you'll notice that there's 3 additional options. You could remove the customer from the sale. You could email the receipt once the sale is complete, or you can set up a delivery. Let's go ahead and click on delivery. Now, to set up a delivery, you could add a tracking number, the expected processing date and time, expected delivery date and time, and any delivery comments. You could also schedule an in-store pickup by adding the expected pickup date and time and any additional comments. Here in the delivery address section, you would be able to double check the address to make sure the delivery will be mailed to the correct address. And if there is no address for a particular customer, you could add it here. And then finally, you could add any delivery fees. Now let's say that for this example, we've already added the delivery. Where would we be able to see it? Well, here in the delivery section. Now if we click on the delivery section, it'll take us to all the deliveries we have pending. So here we have the status for the delivery, the name of the person that we will deliver to, and then the address for each delivery. Here you can also edit the delivery. Let's say, for example, we have a delivery for Michael Johnson. It's already been shipped, but you just got word that it's been delivered. So here you would select delivered, and you would select submit. And as you can see here in the status has been updated to delivered for this Michael Johnson. Now here at the top, you're able to see the calendar. You could go to the estimated delivery pickup date, the actual shipping date, actual delivery pickup date, and the sale date. Now, once you completed a delivery, you could select the delivery and delete the delivery. If you select OK, then it'll be removed from your deliveries, and you can continue to manage the other deliveries. Now, if you want to see your deleted deliveries, you can do so here. And if you want to see a calendar with all of your deliveries, you can come here and you will be able to see the delivery dates that are programmed here in the calendar. So these are the tools we have for the deliveries section. Let's go ahead and move on. The suspended sales section. Now in this section, you will be able to see all of the sales you have suspended. Remember, back at the point of sale section, whenever you're generating a sale, you have the option to suspend the sale. Let's say we're processing a sale for an iPhone, and let's say the customer has forgot their wallet. So what we would like to do here is suspend the sale and then select OK. And this would pretty much pause the sale until the customer returns. So in this case, let's say that the customer has gone home, they found their wallet, and they're back at the store. Now, once that happens, we would go to the suspended sale section, and then we would unsuspend the purchase, and this will take us right back to where we were. We would be able to add the payment and then complete the sale. And this is how the suspended sale section works. The next section is the batch sale section. Here you would be able to download an Excel template for a batch sale. Once you have that downloaded, all you would have to do is fill out the information. Let's say you have a customer or a client that is going to purchase many items. You would put all of that information here, and then you would select the file and then submit it, and this will generate a large purchase. And here in the final section, we have the show last sale receipt, which is pretty straightforward. All it does is show you the last sale in case you want to see what was the last purchase that was made. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next section. The finance portion of the side menu. Now, as you can see, the expenses section is a section where you could manage all of your expenses. Let's say, for example, you have a provider coming in and you need to pay them. So you would want to register this expense. Let's say there's a $500 expense with no tax, and we're going to add restock products under the description. The type is going to be purchasing of items. The reason is that you're almost out of stock. And then let's say you're purchasing clothing items. So you could add the category, and then you could optionally add a note. Let's say I made this purchase because we are almost out of stock for this item. So once you do that, you could optionally remove cash from a certain register. In this case, it's showing me the 4 terminals I have. Let's say I want to remove the cash from the terminal 3. I would select submit, and this will add the expense to my expenses list. So you can manage all of your expenses in this section. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section. The human resource portion of the side menu. Now here we have 2 sections, the employees and the messages section. In the employee section, you will be able to manage all of your employees. You could also add new employees and edit existing employees. Let's go ahead and see some of the stuff you can add to the employee. You could add their name, the email, the phone number, and even choose a picture for the employee. You could add all of their personal information like the address, and you could also set a commission % in case the employee is paid by commission. You could add the hire date, the birth date, and you could optionally add an employee number. Now, when the employee uses the Adminit tool, they'll need a username and a password as well as a PIN to log into the account. So this is where you would set that for them. Here you could inactivate an employee and change their language. And you could have the dashboard either enabled or disabled for a certain employee. You can optionally add files for them, for example, their curriculum or any other files you wish to keep for that employee. You could add that here. And down at the bottom, you have all of the permissions you want the employee to have. Whether you want them to see all the customers and suppliers, and you want to give them permission to add or update and delete and search customers, you could customize all of that here in this part. Now in the messages section, you'll be able to message directly to your employees. All you would have to do is send a message, select which employee you'd like to message, and then write any type of message, and then submit, and this will automatically send the message to your employee. You could select all, so if you have 100 employees, you'll be able to send them an internal message directly here. And once you send the message, it'll be sent to all of your employees. So finally, you have an inbox where you would be able to see your own messages that other employees have sent to you. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section. The reports portion of the side menu. Now, before I go into detail in each of these sections, I would like to note that data reporting is a vital part of your business. Without it, how can you actually know how your business is doing? This information should drive your budgeting, resource allocation, marketing efforts, employee scheduling, and much more. So with this in mind, Adminit offers many types of reports you can generate. If you go into the All Reports section, you'll see more than 20 types of reports you can generate. All you would have to do is go into the one you'd like. Let's say, for example, I'd like to generate a sales report. I would open this section, and inside this section, you could generate a graphical report, a summary report, detailed report, summary sales by times report, or a graphical summary sales by times report. Let's say I would like a detailed report for the sales. Once I select this, it will take me to this small form. Here, it's going to ask me what time frame do I want this report based on. I could select from today, yesterday, last 7 days, etc. Let's say I want a sales report for the last 7 days. I will select that. I can optionally choose a custom range. Then I would select the sales type. I have all, sales, or returns. Let's go ahead and stick with all. I could also export to Excel if I wish. Once you submit this, it will automatically generate a sales report. Here at the top, you have the summary of all the data that you will be looking at. At the bottom, you'll have your actual detailed sales report. Here, you'll be able to see the sale ID, the date in which the sale was made, from what register the sale was made, how many items were purchased, who the items were sold by, who the items were sold to, the subtotal, total, tax amount, and the actual profit you made. You could also see the payment types and any comments you added to the sale. Now you could add this to your favorites, or you could print or export to Excel. So as you can see in the All Reports section, there are many reports you can generate. Here at the bottom, you have the most important ones: the sales, the entries, and the register logs, which are also included in this section. So let's go ahead and move on to the next section. The next portion is the marketing section. Here we have a gift card section where you will be able to generate gift cards. Let's say you would like to add a gift card. All you would have to do is type in a gift card number, type in a description if you'd like, the value for the gift card, the customer name. Let's say in this case we use Jane Doe. Then you could optionally inactivate the gift card and submit. Now once you submit it, the gift card is now active and can be used for any sale. If you notice here, the gift card that we just created is now active. And if we go to the point of sale section and we want to purchase an item, you have the option to use that gift card for the purchase. And that's how the marketing section works. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section. The goods portion of the side menu. Now, whether it's a refrigerator, a cash register, shelving units, or a reception desk, in this section you will be able to keep track and manage all of your company's assets. Now, within this portion we have two sections. We have the dashboard and the assets. Let's go ahead and take a look at the dashboard. Now, here in the dashboard you will be able to view a summary of your total goods, the total cost of registered goods, total goods in a specific branch. In my case, I only have one downtown branch, and then the total cost of goods for that branch. Down at the bottom, we have donut charts detailing the goods per location and the total cost of goods per locations. In my case, I only have one location, that's why it's showing as full. Down at the assets part, you will be able to see all of your assets, as well as add new assets. Let's say we wanted to add a new asset, and we'll say we want to add a TV for displaying offers. And we'll select the cost. Let's say this TV is going to cost us $450. We're going to select exactly what branch or location we'll be setting up this asset at. And then here in the asset location, we can specify where exactly in that branch or location we will have this asset. Let's go ahead and say at the front of the store. Okay, so that way we know exactly where our asset is. You could optionally assign an employee to that asset and choose a picture for that asset. Once we submit this, it'll add the item to our assets list. And if we go back to the dashboard, you can see that this will automatically update the total goods, update the cost of registered goods. And then if we go back to the assets portion, it has been added as well here in the television. So this is how you would keep track of all of your assets. And this is a good tool for making sure you have everything in order, you know the cost of everything you have, and you know exactly where everything is. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section. As you probably know, there's always goals and visions inside your company. Here at Adminit, we'd like to call them projects. Whether it's planning to paint your branch or creating a marketing campaign, Adminit allows you to keep track of all of your projects. Here in the projects portion of the side menu, you have access to a dashboard. In this dashboard, you will be able to see a summary of all of your projects, whether it's the overall progress, your total future or pending projects, or your projects that are in progress, expired, or completed. Within your projects, you will be able to create activities, and here you will see a summary of all of your activities. You'll also be notified if there's any pending activities or in progress. Down at the bottom, you'll be able to see charts detailing projects by manager, projects by client, activities by manager, and activities completed by manager. In the next section, you will have access to a list of all of your projects where you would be able to edit the projects or add a new project. To add a new project, all you would have to do is enter the name of the project, a brief description of the project, the start and end dates for the project. In case there's somebody in charge, you would select who is in charge. In case the project is having to do with the sale, you would add it here. And if you have a client for your project, you would also add it here. And then here at the very bottom, you would specify what location is the project at. Finally, you would submit, and that's how you would create a project. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section. The configurations portion of the side menu. Now here you will be able to configure everything regarding the Adminit tool. In the first section, you will be able to edit or add company information such as the logo, company name, and you can add a website if you have one. Under the taxes and currency, you could set the tax rates for your sales. You could select the currency code, exchange rate, currency symbol, and select all of the currency denominations you'd like to have. Under the sales configuration, you'll be able to configure everything regarding sales, such as the payment types that you accept, the default payment method, and many other options. Under the entry section of the configuration, you will be able to edit and select what options and what information to show for the entries. Under the sales receipt section, you have control over how you want the sales receipt to come out. You could select many options such as the receipt text size and what information to show or hide. Under the suspended sales and layaway section, you also have options regarding the suspended sales. Here in the application settings, you have the general application settings, for example, the language, the date format, and the time format. You could also have the number of items per page to display, number of invoices per page, number of items per page in grid, and many other options for the application. As you can see, you have a lot of control over how the application works. Here in the price rules, you have the option to disable the price rules dialog here. And then there's one more other section, which is the orders and deliveries section. Now here you will be able to add shipping providers in case your company ships with a provider like DHL, UPS, or anything like that. Then you would be able to add a shipping zone in case you want to. So down here in the locations section of the configuration, you'll be able to add or edit your branches or locations. In this case, we're only having the free version, which allows us to only add one location. The price rules, you'll be able to set up price rules. Here, all you would have to do is create a rule, select the name of the rule, the description, when you would like to start and end this rule. For example, let's say you have something to offer for a limited time. You want to put it for a special price. This is where you would do that. Okay, so this is all regarding the configuration. As you can see, you have a lot of control over what gets done within the Adminit tool. And let's go ahead and move on to the next section. The support section. Now here in the support section, you will be able to get in touch with the technical support team in case you have any questions or if there's any issues that come up. All you would have to do is type in your name, email address, a message detailing your inquiry, and optionally you can upload a file, and then you would just submit the form. You could also get in touch with the Adminit team through these methods. Down at the bottom, you have some frequently asked questions. And if you notice on the bottom right, there's a chat that you could also reach the Adminit team on. All you would have to do is type in your name, email, your phone number, and then the message. Moving on to the add-on section, here we have all of the add-ons available to the Adminit tool. These add-ons provide additional features to the already feature-rich Adminit tool. The restaurant add-on provides additional restaurant features in case you have a restaurant business. The professional agenda add-on helps you organize your agenda in a much more professional manner. The subscriptions add-on is in case your business is subscription based. And the WooCommerce add-on allows you to integrate the WooCommerce to the Adminit tool. Down at the bottom, we also have some contact information. And finally, down at the very bottom, you will be able to log out of your account. So this has been all regarding the Adminit tool. In the next video, we will go over the add-ons in a little bit more detail. So if you're interested in the add-ons, go ahead and watch our next video. The add-ons allow for greater functionality and even more features that you can take advantage of to help manage your business. Let's take a look at the restaurant add-on first. This add-on is specifically designed to help manage food businesses. Whether you have a small restaurant or a chain of large restaurants, this add-on will help keep track and manage everything having to do with your restaurant. Now, when you first log in, you'll be able to log in as an administrator, a waiter, a cashier, or to a specific section like the kitchen or the bar. Let's go ahead and log in as the administrator. Now, the first thing you'll be directed to is the main dashboard. If you notice down here at the add-on section, every time you purchase a new add-on, you'll notice that it has been enabled to your Adminit tool. In our case, we have purchased the restaurant add-on. Now what this will do is it will add a new section called My Restaurant. If I open this section up, you'll see that there are other 6 sections inside which will be added when you purchase the restaurant add-on. Let's go ahead and take a look at each one. The restaurant section will take you to the cashiers that are available for you to log into. In my case, I have set up 3 cash registers: the main, the back, and the bar. Now to set this up, all you would have to do is go to the configuration section. You would go to the locations. Here you'll be shown all of the locations you have. In my case, I only have 1 location. And now if I edit this location, I'll be able to edit anything having to do with the location, like the name. Let's say I'll call this the downtown location. I'll keep the address and the phone number the way they are. Under the number of tables, I have set the table number to 10, which is how many tables I have at that particular restaurant. And then this is where I set up my registers. I have a register in the main section, the back section, and in the bar section. Optionally, you could add more registers or delete any existing registers. Let's go ahead and leave this as is and go back to the restaurant section. So here, let's say I want to log into the main register. I would go ahead and click that. And once I click that, it's going to ask me for the opening amount. Just like the point of sale section, you could specify how many bills of each denomination, or you could select the total amount. I'll go ahead and go with the total amount. And once I click submit, it'll open this register for me and it'll show me all of my tables. Now in this section, you will be able to visualize all of your tables. You'll see which ones are available by the color green and which ones are occupied by the color orange. You'll be able to optionally hide individual tables, hide joint tables, or remove these filters. You'll be able to go to the pending orders and see and complete suspended sales. Now, if you look down at the bottom, you'll see that there are some pending orders. This is because for table 4, I still have all of this as my pending order. We'll go into that with a little bit more detail in a little bit. Now let's say a new couple has walked in and they want to be seated at a table. All the waiter would have to do is check which tables are available and assign them a table. Optionally, you can join tables. Let's say a large family has walked in and you want to join tables 5 and tables 6. All you would have to do is select those tables and click on Join Tables. Now what this will do is refresh the interface and now show tables 5 and 6 as 1, and you would be able to start the sale from there. Let's go ahead and keep the first example where that couple has walked in. And so we would see them in table 2 and generate a new sale. Now if I click that, it'll take me to this interface. It'll show me which table I'm going to take the order from. And I could search for the plates or the dessert or any items that we're offering from here. Or I could show the grid and select the items from categories I have previously set. I have set the appetizer category, the beverage category, dessert, and main category. Let's go ahead and do it from here. So let's say that for the appetizer, they will select the creamy mushroom soup. And let's say for the main course, they'll have the grilled sirloin steak. And let's say that for beverages, they'll have soft drinks. And finally, for dessert, they're going to go with the chocolate fudge cake. Now, all of these items I have previously set here in the item section. Here is where you would be able to add any items that your restaurant offers. In my case, these are the items that my restaurant offers. You could add a category to them. You could set the selling price and then the quantity in case you have a limit. Let's go ahead and go back to the sale. Let's go to the restaurant and then go back to the table 2. Okay, so now once the waiter has picked up their order, all the waiter would have to do is send the order. Now, by sending the order, what you're doing is sending all of this order to the specific section that will take care of that order. And how will you know? Well, you go here into the sections. Now, in my case, I've set up 3 sections. The bar, which will take care of anything having to do with drinks. The kitchen, which will take everything having to do with the meals. And then the dessert area, which will take care of everything having to do with desserts. So let's take a look at the bar section. Now here, you can imagine the bartender working this area. And once the waiter sends the order, they'll receive the item and they'll see the waiting time. Let's say the bartender has now prepared their drinks. They'll just select yes once it's finished, and this will prompt here at the waiter down here at the pending orders. You'll notice that the soft drink is now ready. So then the waiter, once delivered, they'll just select yes, and that'll indicate that it's no longer pending. So far on table 2, they've received their drinks. Now if we go back to the sections, let's go ahead and go into the kitchen. Now here in the kitchen area, the kitchen staff will have access to all of the items that are pending. Here under the wait time, you'll notice that there's some orders that are there for a while now. This one has been taking 28 minutes to fill. Let's say that they have now finished with these 2, and the kitchen staff would select yes and yes, And back here at the restaurant section, the waiter will probably notice that the items are ready for delivery. They'll pick up the plates, send them to the table 4, which is indicated here as well. And then once it's delivered, they'll select yes. And now this removes it from the pending orders, and the table 4 is now eating. Now table 4 has one pending order remaining, which is the chocolate fudge cake. Let's say that these people have now finished their meal and are ready for their dessert. We would go back here to the sections, and in the dessert area, they will notice that there's a chocolate fudge cake with vanilla ice cream that is still pending from 29 minutes ago, and it's for table 4. So once they prepare that, they'll just select yes. And then back at the restaurant section, the waiter will notice that it's ready. And then once they take that chocolate fudge cake to table 4, they'll be able to select yes for delivered order. And now the table 4 is complete. They have finished all of their meal and are ready for the check. So to complete the sale, all you would have to do is click on here, and then this will generate the sale. And then all they would have to do is select the payment method. Let's say they're going to pay cash, and they're going to pay with $100. So once you add the payment, it'll tell you how much their change will be due. If there's any discounts, you would be able to add them here. And any comments you would be able to add here. Now, once you complete the sale, this will generate a receipt that you could give to the client. And then if you go back to the restaurant section, you'll notice that table 4 is now complete. Now, table 2 here is still waiting for their order. And here is the pending items for table 2. And if you go to the sections, each section will still have the items that they need to fill. Now, if you go to the orders dashboard, you'll be able to see all of the orders that are pending. In our case, we only have that table 2 order pending. Now, you could unsuspend the sale and charge them right away. You can generate a receipt, or you could even delete that sale. Now here in the item section is where you can add all of the items regarding your restaurant. Now in the next section, we have the kits or recipes section. This is where you will be able to offer a bundle. For example, let's say you have a promotion where you have 2 burgers, 2 fries, and 2 soft drinks for a certain price. This is where you would be able to bundle all of that up. And then whenever you generate the sale, you'll be able to choose that bundle in the sale. And finally, under the Manage Categories section, you'll be able to manage the categories. For example, the ones I had were appetizer, beverages, desserts, mains. You could add more categories, you could edit these categories, or you could delete these categories. Remember, these categories are the ones that show up here in the, let me go ahead and go to the restaurant. Remember, when you generate the sale for the first time, you could show the grid, and these are the categories that you can manage. And you could assign the items to each category so that you can look them up faster. So regarding the restaurant add-on, these are the main features. Let's say, for example, you would call it a day. You have finished. All the clients have been served. At the end of the day, you can close the register and then add the closing amount, whatever that will be, any notes, and then you could submit that. Or you could log in log out without closing register so that the next employee will close. So this is all regarding the restaurant add-on. There are many other small features which I didn't go over that could be useful, but the main features I have covered. Let's go ahead and move on to the next add-on. All right, so the next add-on we will look at is the Professional Agenda add-on. This add-on helps keep track of all of your upcoming events and is perfect for businesses that provide scheduled services such as a dental clinic, a nail salon, or pretty much any business that handles appointments. So if you're a business owner who needs to stay organized and on top of your schedule, this add-on will quickly become an essential part of your daily routine. Let's go ahead and log in to check it out. So once we log in, of course, we will be directed to the main dashboard. And once again, we'll go to the add-on section to make sure that the Professional Agenda add-on has been enabled. And what this will do is it will add a new section in the side menu, which is called Planner. Here inside Planner, you would have a main dashboard for planning, a reservation section, a personal schedule section, and a calendar. Let's go ahead and check out the dashboard. Now here in the dashboard, as you can see, you have many resources. You're able to see all of your resources, the reservations that you have, the reservations for the particular year, the reservations for the particular month, the ones from yesterday, from today, and for tomorrow. And here we have other sections that will be very useful to stay organized. And let's go ahead and go to the reservations section. Now here's where you would want to add reservations. So we have 3 charts, one for today, one for tomorrow, and the other one for the day after tomorrow. So let's say we're a nail salon and we schedule appointments and we want to schedule a new appointment. All we would have to do is click on Add Resource, enter the name. For example, let's say nail service. You could even set a color to distinguish that nail service. Let's go ahead and go for this color. Okay. And now here, what it's going to ask is to assign a product or service. So if you have an actual item or service in your inventory, you can add it here. For example, let's say you charge at your nail salon, you charge $12 for a manicure. So you would look for it here and you would assign it here. And down here at the bottom, it's going to say business days, which is you will select the days that will be enabled according to the hours of operations in the calendar table. So what that means is that these are the days where this service will be available. So right now it's default to Monday through Friday. We'll leave that as is. And then the hours of operation is actually the time where it will be available. So in our case, let's say we open at 9. You could either input it here or select down here. Let's go ahead and stick with 9. And the service is going to be available until, let's say, 3. So once we select that, and it's going to ask for a predefined time for reservation, meaning more or less how long will it take to once you have that reservation, how long would it take to complete the task? In our case, let's say a manicure will take us 40 minutes. You could even add a minimum. Let's say maybe if I'm fast enough, I can do it in 30 minutes, but a maximum, maybe I can even take up to 50 minutes. So once we have all of this ready, we'll just click on Add. And as you can see, we have the nail service and we have the hours. that will be available. And of course, for tomorrow and for the day after tomorrow, it'll also be included. So now let's say a customer walks in and wants this nail service. The only thing left to do is find a slot for them. Let's say they want to be added at, I don't know, let's say at 11. We'll go ahead and select this and say you're trying to add a reservation on an unusual time and date. Do you wish to continue? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go with no and select one that is available. So here you could add an ID for the client in case the client is added into your database, and if not, you can just add it right here. Let's go ahead and go with Patty. Give it a reservation name, manicure. Okay, 1 second. Details, you could write anything you want here. Monthly manicure for Patty. The color will leave the way it is, and you could see that the date has been predefined, and also the time has been predefined depending on the slot I chose. And you could even mark this as a recurring reservation, meaning if Patty is a regular client and you want to just set this appointment up recurringly, you can do that. Let's go ahead and add and select OK. Now you can see that here we already have this event that will happen at 12:20 for Patty, and if you need to see the details, you can just click on it and you'll be able to either edit it or just see the details. Okay, and this is how it will work. If you would like to schedule Patty for the day after tomorrow, you would just select a time slot and it will automatically add it. So this is how the schedule would work. Now if I go back to the dashboard, you'll notice that we already have 1 resource and 3 reservations. So this is where you would keep track of that. And if you see down here under today, we have a manicure booked from 12:20 to 1. It's a nail service and is not completed, meaning we still have not done it. You could even check out more details. And down here we have a couple of donut charts explaining what's going on for each reservation. Now if we go to the personal schedule, this is things that you as a manager or as a business owner will have access to personal schedules. For example, here I've added a shipment for stock coming in. So you could add any appointments here. You could say, for example, nail supply coming in. You could add the start date. Let's say it'll come in on the 25th. And then the end time would also be the 25th. You could add a person or you could just leave it like that. And a description, nail polish provider will come. And you could even make it recurrent as well. So if I select submit, this has successfully added that to my schedule, and this is my personal schedule. So back, if I go here to the calendar section, I could either access it here or down here. You'll notice that I have all of these events that I can keep track of. I have the manicure here on the 19th, and I have that nail supply coming in on the 25th. So as you can see, this has a lot of features and you can keep track of everything having to do with upcoming events and even personal events. So this would be the the professional agenda add-on. Let's go ahead and move on to the next add-on. All right, the next add-on we will look at is the subscriptions add-on. This add-on is perfect for all of those businesses that are subscription based, such as gyms or yoga class, maybe a martial arts school, pretty much any business where the client pays a certain amount every certain amount of time. All right, so to check it out, let's go ahead and log in. All right, and if I go to the add-on section, just to make sure that the add-on has been enabled. Okay. And what this will do is it'll give me greater functionality inside the inventories section. Now let's go ahead and go into the item section. Now here we usually have all of our products. In our case, we're going to have subscriptions. So we have a basic package and we have a pro membership. Let me go ahead and add another type of subscription. We'll go ahead and give it a product ID of 12, and we'll give it an item name of premium package, and we'll keep it in the subscription category, and we'll go ahead and add a description for this particular subscription. Okay, so in this case, I have a gym, and this subscription will give the client access to all areas of the gym plus a personal trainer. Now here at the bottom, we have to specify that this is a service item and it does not have a quantity, meaning that unlike, for example, a traditional product like a t-shirt or maybe shoes, which have a certain amount, in our case, since it's a service, there's really no limit to how much service we can give. So we'll go ahead and select this, and a new field will pop up called subscription. Let's go ahead and add that. And now it's asking us how often this subscription will be paid. In my case, I'll go ahead and place monthly. And once we have all of this, all we have to do is set up a price for that specific subscription. So let's go ahead and say this is going to cost the subscriber $39.99. And since the cost price is the same for this particular type of service, we'll go ahead and keep it that way. So once I submit, this will add that particular subscription to my items. So if I go back to items, you'll see that it has been added. And so now all we have to do is, whenever there's a customer coming into our gym and we want to sell that specific subscription, all we would have to do is go to the point of sale. So since this is the first time I'm coming in, it's asking me for an opening amount. I'll go ahead and give it an opening amount. And now, let's say, for example, there's a gal walking in and wants the premium subscription. So all I would have to do is search for the premium package, select, and it will be added to the sale. Now I can optionally set a discount in case, for example, I have a promotion for the month, or I just want to give a discount. I can go ahead and set that here or here. Now, when it comes to subscription, you do have to add your client. That way you can keep track of their subscriptions. So I'll click on Add Client, and here I'll go ahead and add name. You could optionally add an email and a phone number if you'd like. Let me go ahead and add that as well. You could even choose an image for that specific client if you wish to do so. You could even add the address information. And once you're finished with that, all you have to do is select submit here, and this will add the client. So this will take you back to your sale, and now you have Jane Doe added to the sale. So it'll know that this subscription is for this person. So now all that is left to do is to add the payment. So let's say they'll pay with a cash. Go ahead and add the payment. And you could add any additional comments you'd like. I'll go ahead and keep that the way it is. And once I complete the sale, this will generate a receipt for our client. Now, if you notice here, you can print it. And in the receipt itself, it'll tell the client when their renewal date will be. In my case, it'll be 1 month from now. So down at the bottom, there's a brief description of that premium package we set. In our case, it's telling them that they'll have access to all areas of the gym, plus a personal trainer. So this is how you would complete a subscription. Now, let's say you have many subscribers to your business. The way you would check how everything is going is under the reports. You go to all reports, and here under the subscriptions report, you'll be able to see all of your subscribers, which subscriber has paid their subscription, and which subscriber is due to or overdue for their subscription. So I'll go ahead and click on the subscriptions report, and it's going to ask for a range, and you could add a custom range here. You could add for the last 7 days. You could add for any type of date. So I'll go ahead and say the last 7 days, and then you could optionally specify if it's canceled and not canceled. I'll go ahead and select cancel and not canceled. And then once I submit this, what it will do is show me all of my subscribers, their names, their type of subscription, how often the subscription lasts. In our case, they're all monthly. The selling price and the sale date, meaning when we sold the subscription. Renewal date, meaning when they have to renew the subscription. The status, whether it's paid or it's due. And then here at the right, you can cancel anybody's subscription at any time. So this is how the subscription add-on works. As you can see, it's very useful for keeping track of all of your subscribers in case your business functions on subscriptions. Let's go ahead and move on to the next add-on. All right, so the next add-on we will look at is the WooCommerce add-on. This add-on allows you to integrate your inventory to the WooCommerce platform. Now, in case you're not aware, WooCommerce is a very popular e-commerce platform where you can offer all of your products online. So with this add-on, you can synchronize all of the products you have in your Adminit tool to your WooCommerce store in just a few easy steps. Let me go ahead and log in to show you. So once you log in, the first thing you'll see is the main dashboard. But what we want to make sure that we have is the add-on enabled. So we go to the WooCommerce add-on, and sure enough, it has been enabled. So what this will do is it will add a new section under the inventories portion of the side menu called WooCommerce. As you can see, this is a brand new section. I will go ahead and click. And when you click, you'll be able to see all of your items inside your inventory. Now, how do I know which items have been synced and which items have not yet been synced? Here at the right side in the sync column, if the item has been checked then it's probably synced to your store. Now for this example, I've created a very basic store, which is what the WooCommerce does. It allows you to have a store to offer products of. In my case, I only have 4 products: a gaming laptop, a notebook, a backpack, and a television. So in theory, this is where all of our clients would come in, take a look at our products, and be able to buy the products. So if we go back into the WooCommerce section, you notice that these are the 4 products that I have in my store. They are all synchronized. Let's say I would like to add a new product. What I would do is I would select new item under my inventory. Then let me go ahead and add a random number here for the product ID. Go ahead and add a number there. And let's say I want to add some scissors to my store. I would select the category, which is school for my case. And I think I'll leave everything else the way it is. So next, I would add the price that I will set to that particular item. Let's go ahead and go with $1.99, which is the price the scissors cost me. And let's say I want to make a 10% profit. And then I'll just calculate the total price according to that margin. And this is going to be my final price. And the only other thing I have to do is add an image for the product. Now the image I add here will be the one that will show here in my store. So let me go ahead and select an image. I have a scissors image here. I have selected it. And I think I'm done in regards to adding all of the information to my item. So if we go back to the WooCommerce section, you'll notice that this scissors has now been added, but it's still not checked, meaning it's still not showing in my store. So the only final step I would need is to go ahead and check that off and click on sync. Now what this will do is any items inside my inventory, which I check here, will be synchronized to my store. Now, just like I can add an item, I could also remove an item from my store by simply unselecting the item from the check. So let me go ahead and check that it is complete. All I have to do is refresh. And then once I refresh, you'll see that the scissors item has been added. So that's how simple it is to synchronize the items I have in my Adminit tool to my WooCommerce platform with the Adminit add-on. Now, one final thing I would like to show is that you could edit all of your information in Excel, or you can upload in Excel. Now what this will do is you could get all of your items instead of having to go inside of the item section and edit them here. You could just simply download an Excel with all of your items and go inside that Excel sheet and edit all the information. And then once you're finished, you would be able to upload inside the Excel, and all of this information will be updated. And then finally, you could synchronize whatever items you'd like. So this has been the WooCommerce add-on. Let's go ahead and show you the next add-on.